Google
Harmony?
actively harming advertisers. So
Yeah.
the answer is yes, apparently.
Yeah, they're in the doghouse a little bit with the US Department of Justice. There's a lot of information online, and we won't go through it all because there's a lot of kind of points they pulled out of it. But essentially, it was a case against Google, and the Department of Justice were. I'm not sure what sparked it, actually. They were looking at their advertising practices and whether they treat advertisers fairly and everything like that. And one of the things, the kind of main thing to come out of it is, and this is something, again, cheap plug, I've discussed in another blog post with Google recommendations. Google ads they prioritize Google's revenue over everything else, is essentially what's come out of it. So they will raise ad prices to increase their revenue. They will prioritize different types of content that may not be best for users, but is best for Google. So it's quite damning, I think.
I think it, sort of on face value, it makes sense that, from a business perspective, Google is a business that has a service that charges a fee for using their service.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's kind of like they have a monopoly.
Exactly.
And if you want to advertise on the platform that is the biggest, platform, one of the biggest platforms in the world, then you have to come through us. And if you don't come through us, there are no other options.
89, something like that, % of coverage for the search market. So, I think everybody's always known, Google is a business at the end of the day, but I think this has been quite definitive in saying, yes, it's a business, but it's got to the stage where they are prioritizing themselves over advertisers too much about, turning up the price of ads and things like that. So I think that's why it's important to make sure that, and again, cheap blog posts, that you don't blindly trust, because if you go to your Google Ads account and there are ad recommendations, guarantee you the first two will be increase your budget and broaden your targeting, which is going to spend a lot more money, make Google a lot more money. But really, someone's searching for, if you're selling holidays to Australia and I'm searching for what's the capital of Sydney, I'm not looking to buy from you, but Google will go, oh, she's searching for Australia, let's show her an ad. Makes them money, but doesn't make you a sale. And I think it's just been a bit of probably for a lot of people, confirming what we already suspected. And that's why with Google Ads accounts, you can't just set a campaign up and let it run and ignore it. You have to keep on top of it. You have to optimize it. You have to check in on the results to make sure that they are the best for you.
Yeah,
and
of course. And you have to check in regularly. You have to see what keywords are being, what keywords your ad is being shown for, and things like that. So any sort of advice sort of to close that out, or is it just an interesting point? Google makes lots of money. What's the impact there? Do we think that it's going to have an impact, that Google is going to charge less or improve their business practices?
Be interesting to see, because it's like you say, they have a monopoly, so the incentive is more like a PR thing than actually they have to do this, or Microsoft will overtake them. It's things like that. But again, because Google is quite same with search, they don't make clear what their algorithms are. The only reason this has come out is because the Department of Justice has done an investigation. So I doubt that you'll see Google say, oh, we've made all these changes and now the system's fairer, because it'll acknowledge that they were, maybe manipulating things a bit behind the scenes anyway. I think the main thing is we've been working with Google Ads for years with this kind of assumption anyway. So I think the main thing is, like we say, keeping on top of your advertising or working with an agency that's familiar with Google Ads and just making sure that all this kind of stuff that we've suspected has probably been going on behind the scenes for years is being accounted for and being mitigated. So that's probably the main takeaway. But it will be interesting to see if they respond publicly or if any changes are made.
Yeah. I think that there is an element, and I think Google definitely capitalized on that. Just they're it's really easy to set up a campaign. Here you go, get running. Oh, look, you're getting clicks. You're spending money. It looks like your campaign's performing well. But there are like two sort of levels. There's the person who just starts an account and starts spending money, and then there's an expert, like a paid expert, who is, looking at the campaigns, optimizing them, and improving their performance.
Yeah, exactly. A really good example is actually we work with an accountants who are moving into, well, they've been doing it for a long time, but we're advertising now for dentistry. Accountants for dentists, not actually dentistry itself. And one of the things Google recommend is you run an ad for dental care. And it's like, that's going to get you a lot of clicks, but that's not going to get anybody who's looking for a dentist accountant, you know? So that's why it's important not to take Google's information at face value and make sure that you work with it, but you don't use it as your blueprint, you know?
No, definitely.